Don't let him get you! You apart. Kick the crap out of him! What is this? Do I look scared? Ah, tree for me.
Cunning.
Give them no respect. Always was. Don't let him touch you. This is nothing we do is working. Very twisted. No, never. This is poison. Take him down. Like his face. Get headed for an early grave. Now we talking. Kick the crap out of him. This one's going. Here's my best shot. Now you're in trouble. Boy. Break it. I'll rip your arms out of that shocking. These makers are stupid. You're a monster, you ain't. Merry Christmas, you son of a bitch! You got it, man. They ain't gonna recognize me without stopping you. I'm gonna pop up your egg shot.
Just a few more steps until you witness what I have in store for you. And your spine is just tingling with anticipation. I know mine is. Like a young boy obsessing over that big, mysterious present under the tree. And what a mystery it is. You may not realize this, but you really opened my eyes. Here I thought I was hitting level 10, the tippity top of the fun scale. Slaughtering gangsters, killing cops, exploding buildings. But now I know that the scale goes beyond 10, way beyond. How much is anyone's guess, but together, you and me, we are going to push it as far as it will go. So don't keep me waiting. If there's one thing I hate, it's an unsolved mystery.
You see what I'm seeing? This ain't over yet. You're gonna need a doctor. go. Get up his face! Get his face! Oh, your ass kicking! Come on and hit me! This hurts! Let's fight! Let him go!
I understand you. You had a chance to let me die, and you didn't take it. I bet right now you're wishing you had. I've killed a lot of people. I've brought the city to its knees, crippled the police force, and it's not even time to unwrap our presents. Jimmy!
Let's do this.
Okay. So, what our friend Vane holds in his hand is a heart monitor. Once he clamps it on, every beat of his bacon little heart will charge the battery on this electric chair. And when it's fully charged... So either you kill Bane...
No, I won't kill him. But you will. You will fight me with all your resolve, or you will die. Someone is going to die. You, me, or the clown. The question of which one of us it is in your hands. They compassionate. Mourning the loss of a servant and life from compassion. Yet here you are. There is no escape.
Maybe you should move. Oh, good lord.
Careful, Jim. When that chair goes off, that's 2,000 volts. You won't make it.
You don't need to.
Jim. Have a seat, Jimbo. We'll fry together like two little potato latkes. I got a pulse. I'm gonna jumpstart your heart.
Kill you again. May you find the peace in death that you did not find in life. I'm not looking for peace. My shotgun will tell you to stop being tired.
game is over, Joker. Let Captain Gordon go.
Yeah, put the gun down, freak.
How about I put you down?
Gordon!
Well, that's the Christmas spirit. Well, I'd love to stay and celebrate your victory, but I've got stockings to stuff, mistletoe to hang, and about 15 skyscrapers to blow up before sunrise. Ciao!
Thank God you had your vest on.
He's got my gun! Gordon, Joseph, I need your help to stop the Joker. Our help? You're the so-called vigilante. Or is one kill enough for you tonight? Bane's in cardiopulmonary arrest. I have only minutes to resuscitate him before it's too late.
You mean you didn't?
That's not how I do things. Now go. Come on.
You leave me no choice, Mr. Wayne.
I found in Bane's lab.
I'll start looking into it now, sir. Master Bruce, the TN1 Bane just injected will reach its full potency in 10 minutes. If you can't defeat him by then, you won't be able to withstand his attacks.
Bullet to Gordon, you read me? You okay? Harvey, I need you to secure every exit out of Blackgate. Sewers, front doors, I don't care. Joker cannot escape. We're on it.
This is freaking me out! You must fight! This is freaking me out! That's bad!
James Gordon is Blackgate prison. The Joker has us pinned down in death row. Requesting reinforcements. Repeat, this is Captain Gordon requesting reinforcements. Pinned down on death row in Blackgate.
Guards, help! Joker has Gordon pinned down in death row.
can't finish paying off soon. That TN1...
It's over, Alfred. I've defeated Bane.
Boss, find the Batman.
Master Bruce, can you hear me?
Yes, and thank you for the help with Bane.
I trust he's down for good this time.
He's secure, and it appears the TN1 Bane took damaged his memory permanently.
Does that mean he won't be revealing your identity?
Looks that way.
Glad to hear it, sir. And the Joker?
He's still on the loose, but not for long.
This is Captain Gordon at Blackgate Prison, requesting immediate medevac. Warden Joseph has been shot. Repeat, Warden Joseph is down.
EMT chopper en route. ETA 15 minutes.
Tell them to hurry up.
Where's Gordon?
Sniper!
Would you locals back for more?
I've had enough of you for one night.
Not yet, you haven't.
Son of a bitch!
Screw this! Want the Joker? Take him.
Help me keep these guys off the Warden!
He's gonna get us! Here goes nothing! What are all these stupid?
childhood. This doesn't make us friends, you know. I know.
There you go.
Joseph, they're on their way. You're going to make it.
Where's the Joker?
He went through that door, towards the chapel.
Thanks.
Oh, that's... it's so... What a night! Fresh off the kill, and back for more, eh?
Bane's still alive.
Now that's not funny. All this rage, all directed at me, and for what? You know, if you'd actually let me finish a sentence, you might learn something! You might learn that we're not so different. You might learn something about yourself!
You need to learn to shut up.
You know, it's sad, really. Makes me feel like you don't care to see the good side in me. Well, I guess learning is a lot to ask from you, meat for brains. Is all this for you, or for me? You must know that I'm a lost cause. Oh, but there's still hope for you. Yes. Oh, I've got great hopes for you. So come on, do stop now! What are you waiting for? You just can't get it through your thick skull. Ugh. We both exist because of them!
Give up! You've lost.
Why you do it, isn't it? You like the way it feels. It's what you need. Come on, baby. Beat me till your knuckles bleed. Why quit there? You know there's only one way to stop me.
Any one of my guys would have killed him.
The city deserves better than that.
You know, my daughter thinks you're a hero. But I still have to bring you in.
Gordon, come in. What's your 20?
I'm in the chapel. We got the Joker.
Son of a bitch. You caught him. And how did you do that?
I had some help. I keep asking myself why I didn't bring him in. And I now know the truth is I let him go because of you. Because you believe in him. I don't know. They put me in charge of a station full of rotten cops. And I can't change them. Any more than I can change this damn city. Or at least, that's what I used to think.
Stop his heart! That is funny. Good one, Bats! Oh, this is going to be fun!
Maybe I can give them something to believe in. Maybe he can give them something to believe in.
I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Another crime before my time made your heart sad and blue. And so now you make me pay for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words are said that make the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? You'll never know how much it hurts to never see you smile. You know you need and want to laugh, yet you claim it's not your style. Why do you hide behind that mask? I'm trying to do my part. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? There was a time when I believed that you belonged to me. But now I know your heart is shackled to a memory. You won't admit that we're the same, and it's tearing me apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart?
Our next guest, political strategist Dean Snyder, has been following tonight's events since the start, more than 8 hours ago. Dr. Snyder, let's start with you. What's your view?
Well, Jack, it's a travesty. The ultimate failing of the justice system. A vigilante cleaning up our streets after countless deaths and bombings? What has happened to our police force? And what about James Gordon? He didn't exactly prove himself tonight.
Hold on a minute, Dean. Now, I'm no defender of the GCPD or Captain Gordon for that matter. Like you said, tonight's debacle is some reflection of his efficacy, but I can't see any police force in any municipality doing a substantially better job against criminals like this Joker character or any of the hired killers he's brought into town. I mean, these guys are a different breed. We've never seen anything like this. So for me, it's less a reflection on Gotham's cops and more of a reflection on the state of our country. A country where our mental health and education systems are so warped and broken that we produce criminals of this nature.
You raise an interesting point, Hank, but what I'm wondering is what we'll do next.
No, it's not an interesting point. It's just plain wrong. They're both wrong. This isn't about the police or the Batman. It isn't about the state of our nation somehow churning out a dangerous new batch of the criminally deranged. It's about the failing of one single institution. An institution which, in my view, represents the biggest threat to Gotham and its citizens. A time bomb, just waiting to go off. If tonight's events have taught us anything, it's that Blackgate is not the place to be housing our city's most dangerous offenders. Not one, but 2 prison breaks in the same night. All of tonight's tragedies would have been avoided if Gotham had a proper treatment facility for its top echelon offenders. A place with impenetrable security, where the most dangerous could be isolated, rehabilitated, and treated for their illness. A place like Arkham Asylum. And after what happened tonight, I promise the good people of Gotham that I will work tirelessly. I will lobby the city council, go to the governor if I have to, do everything in my power to get Arkham Asylum reopened, so we can all sleep a little easier.
There you have it. Quincy Sharp placing the blame for tonight's events not on the Batman, not on the Joker, but on Blackgate Prison, and pledging to return Arkham Asylum to full operations. We'll be back with more from Mr. Sharp and our other guests when the Jack Ryder Hour continues after this message.
Breaking news out of North Gotham at this hour, where protest has turned to celebration. Under extreme pressure from Gotham's citizens, Mayor Hill has just announced his resignation. While Hill has not ruled out a possible run for re-election in the new year, his resignation means that Peter Grogan will likely not be the next police commissioner of Gotham. Speculation has already begun about who the new mayor will appoint as commissioner, with many pundits naming GCPD Captain James Gordon as the frontrunner. And now to South Gotham, where Vicky Vale brings us this live report.
Thanks, Janine. I'm standing at the corporate headquarters of GothCorp, where Captain Gordon has confirmed that GothCorp CEO Ferris Boyle has been taken into police custody. Police report that Mr. Boyle stands accused of manslaughter, extortion, and attempted murder. Shocking accusations given that just earlier tonight, he accepted the Wayne Foundation's award for Humanitarian of the Year. Also in custody is the notoriously elusive underworld crime boss Oswald Cobblepot, better known as the Penguin, as well as a GothCorp cryogenicist, Victor Freeze. Mr. Freeze is being held under heavy guard at Gotham General, receiving treatment for an undisclosed medical condition. Quincy Sharp has suggested that Mr. Freeze is yet another example of the type of criminal that needs the specialized care that only Arkham Asylum can provide. Police credit these arrests to solid police work, but this reporter suspects the vigilante known as the Batman had more than a small role to play. On a personal note, I owe Batman a debt of gratitude for rescuing me from almost certain death earlier this evening. So, thank you, Batman. For all of us. Back to you, Janine.
Thanks, Vicky. The Batman continues to be one of the top stories this holiday season. So as we here at GNN wish you all a happy and safe New Year's Eve, we'll leave you with just a few of the comments you've made about Gotham's Caped Crusader.
I was surrounded. Next thing you know, bam, boom, kapow! The bastards are all on the ground, KO'd. I didn't even see him coming.
Oh, it was all a blur. He just whooshed in out of nowhere.
Listen, I'm a cop. I can't condone what he does. But I can be grateful he's doing it.
Oh, he's real, all right. I got the bruises to prove it. He's real, he's ruthless, and there ain't nothing in the world that's gonna stop him.
Figured you'd be by. Sooner or later. And what happens if I don't sign?
You rot in here, or you work for me.
Figured you'd be by. Sooner or later. And what happens if I don't sign?
You rot in here, or you work for me.